Basketball is a game of emotions, and sometimes, just like all humans, emotions get the best of us. Now, many say the NBA has gone soft and there are no true rivalries left. Tough to compare considering there were all-out brawls in the 80s and 90s. But one thing that's always been prevalent, regardless of the era, is expression. And that's the beauty of the game. Whether it's celebrating after a big-time dunk or a clutch three or a block shot, it's all part of the game. Now, when it comes to expression, some express themselves in a respectful way, and then others, they cross the line. Like stepping over guys, or staring them down, or hitting them with the too small celly. So without further ado, here are my top 5 most disrespectful moments in NBA history.
Play clock at 5, score 4 goals, 3! The 2 home running and 1!
Coming in at number 5, I got Pat Beverley versus the ref. Now, I went a little unorthodox with the first one because Pat Bev, the whole list could be about Pat Bev moments, but with that being said, this is the only moment on the list that involves a referee. Like I said, it's tough to pick just one moment from one of the league's most notorious antagonizers. And regardless of how you might feel about Pat Bev, we need pot stirrers like him in the league. I mean, he too-smalled LeBron, he made fun of Dame Time once, he's must-see TV. But one moment from last season that we've never seen before, it was Celtics vs Lakers, tie game with 4 seconds left. LeBron drove the lane and was clear as day fouled by Tatum. LeBron lost his shit as the game went into OT. But right before OT began, Pat Bev grabbed the camera, walked onto the court, and began to show the replay to official Eric Lewis. He didn't even get to show him the camera before Eric Lewis teed him up immediately. Bev walks away but points to his camera one more time saying Lewis missed the call. He definitely got his money's worth. Beyond disrespectful, but oh so hilarious. Pat Bev. At number 4, I got MJ versus Matumbo. Now we all know Michael Jordan basically put every single elite shot blocker from his era on a poster. But prior to the 1997 season, there was still one guy on his to-do list, Kemp Matumbo.
Not in my house.
And just before the 97 All-Star game, Matumbo let him know it. Roll the tape.
Mike, come on, man. You can't be for real, you haven't got me yet.
He never dunked on you. He never put you on the highlight.
No. He said, I would love to have you on my poster, but it's not happening.
That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
Bad move, Matumbo, because just a few months later, Jordan cut backdoor and slammed it right in Mount Matumbo's grill. Then he hit him with Dikembe's patented finger wag. The ultimate disrespect, putting someone on a poster, then using their go-to celebration against them. What? But hey, that's why he's the GOAT. At number 3, I'm rolling with Kemp versus Alton Lister. We all know Kemp has had his fair share of vicious posters over the years, but one dunk during Game 4 of the 92 playoffs versus the Warriors stands tall above the rest. Kemp caught a cross-court pass, took one dribble, and cradle dunked it right in Alton Lister's face. That dunk was disrespectful in and of itself, but then Kemp had the audacity to take a look at Alton Lister while he was on the ground and point at him like this. By the way, how Kemp was not hit with a technical foul after that is beyond me. Today he would have been fined, suspended. You can't even look at someone today, let alone point at them. But yeah, I had to put Kemp on the list. Coming in at number 2, a classic, AI versus Tyronn Lue. Today, stepping over a player who fell will get you teed up, maybe even thrown out of a game, and it'll for sure ignite a fight. But the most infamous step over of all time, and maybe one of the first that we know that's documented, belongs to Allen Iverson. Everyone thought the Sixers were going to get swept by the Lakers in the 0-1 finals. Well, everyone except Allen Iverson and the Sixers. Iverson dropped 48 points in Game 1 of the finals and willed his team the victory in one of the most epic performances of all time. And of the 48 points, there were none bigger than when he had Tyronn Lue on the baseline. He gave him a step-back crossover, and Tyronn Lue lost his balance, went down. Iverson obviously sticked the jumper, and then he proceeded to step over Tyronn Lue. I remember watching that. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I obviously had to emulate that on the playground, and I could never do it as good as AI. I will say though, however, Lue got the last laugh as the Lakers went on to win the finals in 5 games, but we'll never forget that moment. And my number 1 most disrespectful moment in NBA history belongs to none other than Shaq versus Chris Dudley. In '99, Shaq was entering his prime, and in a game versus the Knicks, he proved why he's the most dominant force to ever step foot on a basketball court. Shaq caught the ball down low, gave 3 dribbles, turned, and destroyed Dudley with a vicious slam. But in the most degrading fashion, simultaneously shoved Dudley to the ground. Dudley stood up and threw the ball at Shaq, completely missing him. Awful. I mean, Dudley had to be awful at dodgeball. Dudley was fuming. You see him walk back down the court, looking at Shaq the whole time, steam coming out of his ears, and literally going... Also, what is Dudley thinking? He's walking over to Shaq all big and tough and swollen up like this. Like, what's he gonna do to Shaq? Are you kidding me? Shaq later said the reason for the shove, and this is hilarious, is he felt disrespected that the Knicks didn't double team him. So he took that disrespect and turned it into his own form of disrespect. That's disrespectful, but I respect it.
God damn it, do I respect you.
But yeah, pretty sure no one is topping that one. I got 3 honorable mentions today. 1, Draymond Green when he took it to Steven Adams' family jewels with the kick. Remember when Amari Stoudemire went baseline for a dunk, but there was a whistle and the play didn't count, and then Shane Battier hit the ground, and then Amari went to help him up, but then he moved his hand away at the last minute? That was hilarious and disrespectful. And then, of course, we can't forget about Mario Hezonja, who's not in the league, if I'm not mistaken, anymore, who was a lottery pick back in the day, I'm pretty sure. Well, remember when he took it in on Giannis and dunked it on him? Yeah, and then he stepped over Giannis? Are you kidding me? Yikes, Mario. Well, he had his one shining moment. And then a couple plays later, Giannis took it coast to coast and dunked it right on Noah Vonleh, and then hit him with the shove and let him know it. Yeah, take that. There's a lot of disrespectful moments in history, so please feel free to share the ones that I missed, and I'm sure there's gonna be a lot, so let me hear it, but be respectful. My name is Brad Parker, and that's my top 5.